Where's this pathway?
It was also raining outside.
Yeah, good. Let's see. This will be fun to see how it lines up. There it is.
Yeah, mind we can take one more for the team.
So is that the walkway?
That's it. You see the roll-up door?
Yep.
And then you can see this building. The building up over there. It anticipated this idea of the Midblock. Actually, this building was designed by ELS architects.
Are they right?
They're right next to it.
In that brown building.
Right. And so they had both properties, and then the partners sold that property. But since the partners, it was a kind of active civic boosterism. They felt rooted to the community because they were actually had their practice in the downtown and wanted to make the downtown nice. They thought, well, we want to allow for a mid-block passage to happen someday. And this was built like in the 80s. So, 30 years later or whatever, you do the math.
That's vision.
That's vision. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Will there be like a crosswalk here?
I don't know. But my vision for this, here's an area where you can't shed a parking lane. But this bike lane, you can see it's getting a lot of use. This bike lane begins at Milvia. And if there's a plaza over there, it'll only last for one block. And there's not a street light that gets you across Martin Luther King. I mean, it doesn't connect to the bike path that goes farther west. So my recommendation, and it's in the plan, is that you just keep the bike traffic on Alston. It can cross Martin Luther King there. You design Alston so it's very slow traffic, so it's safe for the bicycles. And then you take this dimension, and the travel lanes are oversized too. It was one of these things where, you get all this right away, and the engineer thinks, opportunity for more. There's never like the thought that the more could be on the sidewalk. It's always, more for the car. And you can actually get 7 feet on each side. You can get very reasonable dimensions for travel lanes in a bike lane, and you can still get 7 feet from this edge of curb. And 7 feet is just exactly what you'd want for like a planning strip. So the vision there is that we'll leave this curb in place, and then we'll have a 7-foot planning strip that'll have another line of trees. So we've got some pissant trees down there and stuff. We have no trees here, right? We'll be able to get a nice strong line of trees on both sides of the street as a result.
So you are hoping to expand these sidewalks with those trees?
Yeah. Well, I'm a believer that you only it's not one size fits all. There'll be instances where you'll want to have instances where you've got a lot of foot traffic or the possibility of outdoor dining. And in those cases, you want it to be hardscape. And then in some instances, you don't have that possibility, and you should just shrub it up because green is great too.
That's great.
Yeah.